50th world record. It would have to take place in the Dream Mile, and it's a great field and a field of 10 in the Dream Mile. JoeFalcon of the United States, Abdelaziz of Morocco, Gladwin and Morel of Great Britain, Herold of East Germany. Then Wilfred Karochi has a chance to win it. So does Abdebile. Brown and Filippo will be the rabbits, and at the bottom, starting on the outside, Peter Elliott from Great Britain. He is certainly the man to watch, trying to eclipse Steve Cram's mark. A most interesting Brit. Let's take a closer look at Peter Elliott. In the north of England lies the small mining and steel town of Rotherham, a town not noted for royalty or celebrities, but rather for its long-standing tradition of family, church, and loyalty. A town where the work ethic is deeply rooted, where sons inherit trades from their fathers, where little changes from generation to generation. In homes like these live the people of Rotherham, including Peter Elliott, one of the world's premier milers.
I'm quite happy to live in Rotherham. I've got everything. My family's in Rotherham. A girlfriend lives here. I live only over the road from the track, so I've got everything I want in this area. Because as I say, it's a community and everybody sticks together. It's like I had a lot of bad publicity through press and that, and some of the newspaper, the tabloid press were having a go at me. And the people in this area stopped buying the papers. But you know, I'm supposed to be Rotherham's most famous son and all this, but I like to put Rotherham on the map. You know, people at one time had only heard of Sheffield, now they've heard of Rotherham. And that's through me, and that's a good feeling.
Until recently, Peter worked for years at one of the steel mills as a carpenter with the other tradesmen of the community.
They're all really good guys, because the thing is, I wouldn't have been able to be where I am today if it wasn't for their help, obviously, covering for me when I needed time off work. There was never any animosity there, which was a really big help. It was disappointing to leave, because the good thing about going to work was sort of having a laugh and a joke with the lads on the shop floor. And, you know, they really are a great bunch of lads. At one time, I was working 8 hours a day. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning to train, going to bed at 9 at night because I was up so early. So it's no good somebody coming to me with a hard luck story about being an athlete and still having to work, because I've been there.
Despite his success, Peter's running career has been in the shadow of the other top British runners, Steve Cram, Steve Ovett, and Sebastian Coe. A silver medal in the 1,500 meters at the Olympics would prove enough redemption for most, but not Elliott. Following Seoul, the future was unclear, and he was hurt through much of '89. But this year has been sweet, with a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games and a world indoor record in the 1,500.
A lot of people say I've always been in the shadows of the big three, and, you know, at one time that was rightly so, and that's where I should have been, because I didn't hold a major title, I didn't hold a world record. Now I've got both, and, yeah, everybody sort of says I'm the runner's runner and things like that, and, you know, I just go to meetings, and I don't see myself as a star attraction or anything like that. You know, I'm just going there, I train hard, I compete hard. At the end of the day, I like to come home and relax and have a beer with anybody else. But, you know, I'm not sort of not into all this sort of like star status and things like that. I'm just quite happy to just keep rolling along.
There he is live now. Our coverage continuing from Oslo, where it's 10 past 11 on this Saturday night. Peter Elliott and 9 others in the Dream Mile at the Bislett International Track and Field Meet when we come back. Moments away now from the Dream Mile in Oslo. It's the final race of this competition. A capacity crowd looking on, temperature in the low 60s. Steve Cram with a world mark at 346.32. Peter Elliott, to eclipse that mark, would have to better his personal record by 3 seconds. Can he do it, in your opinion, Marty?
He has the statistics to do it. He ran 1:42 for 800 meters in May. No one had ever run that fast that early in the year. He won the Commonwealth Games in January, so he's in very good shape for this time of the year. One of the things that has happened because of the World Cup, this race is being held 2 weeks later, so most of the men have had 3 or 4 extra races under their belt than they have in the other years.
Elliott is certainly favored, but don't discount the American, JoeFalcon, formerly of the University of Arkansas. He's with Larry Rawson. Larry?
Well, Al, Joe is from the state of Missouri, which is the show-me state, and that's what you're going to have to do tonight. You have pointed for this race. You rested?
Yeah, I'm really ready. You know, we're getting ready to go on the track now, and I'm just going to give it the best shot I can.
The pace tonight to go by 3/4 of a mile in 2 minutes and 50 seconds has been set up by Peter Elliott. Everybody deferred to him. Is that good for your tactics in which you hope to employ?
Yeah, you know, for me to run well, it needs to be fast because I'm not going to do well off a slow pace. So the faster the better, you know. I'm just going to go out there and try to get to the front and run well.
If the rest of the runners, including Elliott, don't go with the pace, the rabbit, Ray Brown, will you?
I need to. So I'm going to try to do my best job. That's all I can ask right now.
Good luck.
Thanks.
There's the field of 10. Falcon starting from lane 1, though the lane assignments really don't mean very much. The current start, Abdulaziz of Morocco in lane 2. As Doyle of Australia was a late scratch. Gladwin and Morrell don't figure. Herold has a chance. Carochi finished second here last year. Bislett won the race here last year. Brown and Filippo are the rabbits, and then there's Elliott.
Well, it was nice to hear JoeFalcon say that he's going to go out fast with the pace. Joe's the smallest guy in the field, and he's in lane 1. If he doesn't get out fast, he could get knocked around. He has to get out fast and protect himself or go to last place. Bislett had the fastest mile in the world last year. He's an absolutely fantastic athlete. A month ago, people thought he wasn't in shape for this race, but in the last 3 weeks, he's run better each race, so they do fear him tonight more than they did a month ago. Conversely, Peter Elliott, who everybody thought would show up here and collect the world record, had to take 10 days off in June with a pulled thigh muscle. So there's a little bit of a question mark on Peter Elliott.
Now, when I say rabbits, and we'll take a look there at Wilfred Carochi of Kenya, who finished second and has a personal best of 350.49. Ray Brown of the United States is being paid to lead for 2.5 laps. There's Jens Peter Herold. And then Hervé Filippo of France will take them to the end of the 3rd lap, and he wants to get there in about 2:50. And there is Ray Brown, the paid rabbit. He's being paid about $3,000 along with Filippo to help pace this field, and JoeFalcon has settled in cleanly into position number 3.
That's great. One thing that's good this year is they've got Ray Brown. He's got a lot of experience. He's constantly checking over his shoulder. In the last 4 years, when the record wasn't broken, the pace setter ran too fast on the 1st lap. What they've done this year, they just passed the clock. There's a clock every 100 meters to check the time, and Ray Brown has already made the adjustment and slowed down. Felipe is a 3:49 miler himself.
And there's the red-headed Elliott, who at the moment would be toward the back of the pack, running in lane 2, moving up on the outside. And Bislett, as was the case last year, is last. Bislett came from last to win the race. End of the 1st lap, and the split in the high 50s. The clock did not stop in the infield.
No matter how much you plan, everything is not perfect. They didn't stop the clock, and the athletes probably didn't get a good idea either. Carochi in 3rd place really attacked that lap. He wanted to make sure that he was ahead because, as you mentioned, Bislett and Elliott are very fast at the end of the race, and if Carochi's going to win it, he needs to be out early. Right now, Ray Brown is starting to lose the field. This is the problem. The pace setters are not helping very much if they get 10 yards ahead.
Brown again will take them through 2.5 laps, and I'll look at the clock as he crosses the line in case they don't stop it again. You just saw Carochi. Brown coming to the halfway point in the race.
We now know
Elliott on the outside is in 4th place behind Carochi, and Brown in 1:55 and change. And then he peels off after the 2nd lap, and Felipe will take them through 3 laps.
Perfect pace, 1:55. Steve Cram was 1:54. They're not under his pace, but they haven't lost it yet. On that lap, you saw Peter Elliott make the decision that he was going after the record and move up slowly. Elliott has to get ahead of Cram's pace on this 3rd lap because I don't think he can finish as fast as Steve Cram did when Cram finished with a 53 last lap.
Meanwhile, Falcon is in the 2nd tier. He's not even in that shot at the moment. He is in 6th position as Elliott begins to move up on the outside. Again, the leader at the moment, Filippo of France, will peel off after he takes them by the finish line to end the 3rd lap. And then it will be Elliott in the lead with Carochi right behind him. And Falcon now has made contact with the rest of the field. He is in 6th place. So there's Filippo, takes him across in 2:52 and change, and Elliott has the lead.
This is 2 seconds off of the pace that they wanted. James Peter Herold is in third place. He's the fastest man over the last 100. Bronze medalist in Seoul in third place. James Peter Herold will have a good shot if Peter Elliott doesn't blow him away on this back.
He passes Karochi. Herold is in second position. There's Elliott being pressured. Here comes Falcon. Falcon moving up. Falcon now passes Karochi. Falcon is fourth. Falcon trying to move up on the outside, but it's Elliott with the lead. Herold unable to gain any ground on him.
Falcon's running exactly as he did last year. It's not going to be the record. First, they've got to win the race.
Again, 346.32 is the world record. Here comes Falcon up on the outside. Here comes Falcon. Falcon catches Elliott. JoeFalcon of the United States has won the race. JoeFalcon wins it. Elliott is second. And Jens Peter Herold of East Germany finishes third. JoeFalcon, who the other night, 4 nights ago in Nice, France, finished sixth in a 1,500-meter race and said to me yesterday, boy, I really ran a stupid race there. You can discount that one. I'll run a much smarter one tomorrow. Indeed, he does. And the unofficial time is 3:49.32 for JoeFalcon. It would be his first ever sub-350 clocking. His personal record coming into tonight's Dream Mile was 3:51.07. And so there'll be no world record for Peter Elliott and no victory, in fact, tonight in Oslo. The laurels belong to that man, JoeFalcon, from Missouri, living now in Springfield, Missouri. Went to the University of Arkansas, top miler in the United States, and for the moment, the top miler in the world as he wins the Dream Mile in Oslo.
This is the same position he was in a year ago at 50 meters. Last year, he hit the wall, but this year he broke through it, and it's really a breakthrough for American distance running. He's won 3 races on the circuit now, and he's marching towards number 1.
JoeFalcon winning the Dream Mile, and so the 2 premier races won by Americans tonight. The 100 taken by Carl Lewis, the Dream Mile taken by JoeFalcon, and in addition to that, a world record in the javelin at the Bislett International Track and Field Meet in Oslo. Back we come in a moment. So in the history of track and field, there have now been 29 sub-350 miles, and 19 of them have been run here, including Falcon and Elliott tonight. Falcon wins it in 3:49.31, Elliott 3:49.76, and Jens Peter Herold of East Germany 3:50.59. By about a second and 2/3, it's JoeFalcon's best time ever, and it couldn't have come at a more appropriate time.
Well, the great thing about it is it isn't an upset. You could see him coming towards this conclusion all spring, and he deserved that win.
JoeFalcon, the winner. Let's meet him with Larry Rawson.
Show me work. You did it.
Yeah, I did. You know, it was a race that you grow up dreaming about being in. And to win it, I can't really put into words how I feel right now. I'm really numb over
You probably watched this back home in high school. You ran sub-4:10 in Belton, Missouri, probably 12 years ago, and it's been a dream put into 4 minutes here.
Yeah, you know, anyone who runs distance dreams of winning the Dream Mile. This is like an Olympics to me. You know, I thank God for giving me the strength, and just all the support crew, yourself and ABC for coming over and televising it. It's such a help, because I think this is what we need to inspire the young middle distance runners in America.
Joe, tell us, you laid off the pace. You didn't really do what you said you were going to do, in a sense. The pace was a little bit slow.
Yeah, once we got out and it wasn't fast, I didn't want to be caught in the front leading everyone. So I settled in into 3rd or 4th and really tried to sustain that until the last 150. My coach and I had talked about if the race went like that, he said to wait till coming off the last turn and just give it your best shot. And as it was, I ran well up the straightaway and didn't tie up, so I'm very happy.
Well, we're watching the stretch run right now. Tell us what happened down that thought. Did you feel you'd get him with 100 to go?
I didn't know if I'd get him, but I knew I was going very well. I really never did struggle until the last 20 meters. So I was just trying to lift and concentrate. So, to answer that question, really, it's hard to say whether you're going to get him, but I thought I had a good chance.
Well, our congratulations. A terrific performance. JoeFalcon, America's best miler by a total of 3 seconds last year. He now leads the world again in 1990. Fine performance, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Al?
All right, Larry and Marty, I would think at the age of 24, just really coming into his prime, JoeFalcon.
He got out of college, and this year he moved back to his hometown and trained under his high school coach again, and he really has had a great year all spring. As I said, he was leading up to something big like this, and the American milers can win. This is not the first race he ran over here and won.
Well, Cram's record is safe. Steve said it here in 1985. Might mention that Cram originally was scheduled to run in the Dream Mile, but was injured earlier this week, so he was out. Elliott doesn't get the mark, doesn't even get the win. It belongs to JoeFalcon. So that's the story from the fjords of Oslo, and from the fjords